Hey, good morning, folks. Good morning. The time now is 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. We want to welcome everybody for tuning in with us this morning. This is going to be a light edition because we have a lot of coverage going on. A lot of different people are putting information, streaming. We know the Hoka Hey community is out there streaming. But we've been doing an outstanding job bringing you coverage of the 2024 Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. So we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to give you a light edition today.
hmm
With my co-host today is going to be Logic. Logic, good morning, sir.
Morning, good morning. How are you doing today, sir?
Outstanding, sir. Outstanding. I know we were talking earlier, and you were saying you was up like 3 o'clock this morning, looking at the people.
Yeah, yeah. I had to get up to catch Jamaica coming across that line.
Him
Yes.
coming in.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, man, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. We have truly been dedicated to this, folks. Um, Once again, um, we've been trying to bring you a different perspective of the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge from different riders, and we have one now. James Mosley, I would like for you to hear what he has to say about the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge.
A beautiful morning. Started out to be 39 degrees when I pulled out of Fort Nelson at 5:30 this morning. Uh, Cooking breakfast. I already put the stuff away. Little breakfast and biscuits and gravy. But this is my porch for the day, for the morning, for the most part. Wish I wouldn't have checked my Facebook feed. Some bad news out there. But prayers go out to Romeo's. This ain't no joke, people. This run is tough. And I commend and am inspired about the people that did this in 10 days. You top runners are no joke. You guys are balls to the wall beasts. They don't even write a book on that shit. You can try, but it's not the same as being here in the element. Seen a bear last night. It was so close, it crossed my path that I could hear his paws hitting the pavement. A boom, 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 boom. That was freaking. Oh man. And I was really close to being out of gas. I was trying to get to Fort Nelson so I could camp down. Met two young men at the gas station that when I seen it, when I put my directional on to get it, the lights turned off. And apparently they don't keep their pumps on. So, and these two young men were on their quads sitting in the gas station, and we started talking and stuff, and I asked him where else can I get gas. He goes, well, we'll show you. And they took me I don't know, it's just down a side road in an industrial area of Fort Nelson, and there's gas pumps, and they're really cool. It kind of reminded me of me when I was young. Little hooligans, man, and they're just bopping down the roads with no lights on these quads and shit. So I gifted them some stickers and a poker chip and gave them some education, and we talked about what they were going to do and uh, what they wanted to do in their future. And the one young man, Evan, his name is, he said that he wanted to be a welder. I said, well, that's a good trade, brother, but you perfect the welding, you get that down, and then you take it the next step further and become an inspector. That way you can kick back and watch them do their work, and you can critique their work, and you ain't got to work so hard. And he says, that's a good idea. I go, yeah. And he asked me how old I was. And I told him, and I was all, it sounded kind of weird, So I asked him how old he was, and he had his helmet on the whole time. So I said, take your helmet off, man. I want to see your head. And he had long hair and stuff. You see the picture I posted earlier when I got up. And I said, man, you're a little hippie, aren't you? He chuckled. Man, and that's all part of this adventure, guys. Communicate with the locals, and this whole route that Hoka created for us to come to Alaska. 90% of it, if not 99%, is all res routes. Every road that we took went through a certain band's land. Navajo, Hopi. Well, I don't even know what the tribe is up in here, but I have to look up Fort Nelson when I complete this and get educated about what the Canadians did for these people up here. But very good creating young men, to be to enjoy life and not be a hooligan all their life. they were cool. But anyway, my prayers go out to my brothers. If there's anything you can do that I can do, Romeo, let me know, man. And you got my number. So I'm on his 6. So if you need anything or I don't know what I can do, but if you need anything in my power, I will do it. I love you guys. Later.
Folks,
Wow.
that's the essence of the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. He put a perspective on it. That hey, from riding it to meeting people to being there for your fellow Hoka brother or sister, he definitely put a true caption on it, folks. And
Yeah.
I can't thank him enough for putting that out there.
You can only get that perspective
Are you there,
once
Logic?
you've been out there. Once you've been out there, you can give that
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Awesome for you to be here on this Saturday morning. We can't thank you enough for tuning in. Riders are coming into the finish line. Riders are at the finish line celebrating. We had some outstanding footage of riders completing the ride. Uh, Today is day 14. Day 14 of the challenge. They are getting ready for the end of ride celebration that's going to be happening, and it's an incredible feeling once everybody come together that's finished. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Good morning, John. John. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Have a seat. Get a cup of coffee. Like I said, we're going to keep this light this morning. We're going to keep it light. We're going to do one more video of a finisher coming in, and then we're going to go to the big board. We're going to work our way back. As we know, the big board isn't 100% accurate, but we'll walk our way back on the big board one more time, and then we'll maybe try to get a couple of callers on. It is 4, I think it's at 5 a.m., 5:09 a.m. Homer time, so it's still early in the morning. So they're probably racked out trying to get some rest. That's why
Yeah.
we see all the fresh faces when they come on. So uh, stay tuned, and we're gonna cue up this video, and then we will go to the big board.
Oh boy, we are live at the finish line in Homer, and rider number 11, 11, Leroy Brewer is coming in right now. Woo! All right. 1190. Rider number 1190 has reached the finish line. Good job. Good job. We got you live on Facebook. Say hi to all the people at home.
It was a great ride. You did a great job putting this together.
Oh, thank you. We do appreciate that. Got anything to say to the folks at home?
Hello, I made it. Well,
Yep.
see you tonight or tomorrow morning.
We have Marissa saying congratulations on. Yeah, we got. Oh, yay, Dad. Allison Brewer. Yay, we love you, she says. All right, good deal. Are they coming in?
Yeah, they're here.
Cool, cool.
Checking my wife up at the airport now.
Oh, that's exciting. So congratulations. Glad to have you here. And Annie's. Yeah, okay. Did you get the time? You got the time?
I got the time.
Okay.
You think somebody special's coming in?
And it's official. Leroy Brewer.
Oh, look like we having some technical difficulties right there. But we'll get it back up. I think it's on their end. I think it froze up on their end. Let me pull up the big board here. And like I said, we'll walk our way back. Once again, thank you for joining us this morning on day 14 of the coverage of the 2024 Hoka Motorcycle. All right. Outstanding, outstanding. All right. So once again, folks, good morning. Good morning, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Thank you for tuning in. Most of the videos, but also Empire Experience at Fort Nelson. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, folks, once again, there's a lot of riders. Maybe like 70 or 80 riders in. Maybe the high 80s are already in and finished and completed. Some riders have already started returning back to the lower 48. Some riders are making plans to go up to Prudhoe Bay, which is the top of the world. Some are planning just to go up to the Arctic Circle. But the riders that are coming in now, and once again, folks, the riders 1173 may have already entered the finish line. There's such a delay up there with the signal from the fleet tracker. But once again, shout out to all the ladies. Michelle, the rider of Dick, she was the first female finisher. Of course, we know our top finisher was rider number 1203, Dirty Dan, followed by 897 Riot, 1060 Kilroy, followed by fourth was Pothole, followed by, once again, Michelle, rider 1088, rider number 6, Christian, riding in his 10th Hoka Hay Challenge. Rider number 7 was Paul Tong. Number 8 was Neighbor Dave, 1232. Number 9 was Lewis, 1033. 10 was Craig Waters, 1025. And rounding out the 11th spot was Kern, rider number 1149. We'd like to send all our congratulations out to all of the finishers. My understanding is this year, if you finish within the 14 days, you will be considered an elite finisher. So if that is the case, hats off, salute, and thumbs up to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that this ride has been really challenging. Logic, have you heard any new
I,
information or
I have
just
not heard.
perspective?
I have not heard any new information. After being up late, I said, how the people are coming in on day 13. We're coming in on day 14. I actually went back to the lower 48 and saw how many was still getting over the border. And I said,
Yes,
this is some resilience right here. You know,
yes.
that I mean, they're still gonna make it. They in their mind, they know, okay, this is day 14. But
Oh
we're gonna
yes.
still keep going. We're gonna still keep going.
Oh, oh
You
yes.
know,
And that is the true essence of it,
yeah.
sticking it out, seeing it to the finish. Uh, an incredible ride. I'm gonna cue this up from Gene. Gene, this is kind of an older video, but just listening, hearing his words, hearing his take on was very inspirational. And I hope it motivates some people to sit there and say, hey, maybe I can take this challenge. Maybe I can ride this ride because um, it definitely is a ride that everybody should say, hey, look, that's like the pinnacle of where I want to go to try to see if I can ride cross country on back roads with no GPS, sleeping outside, riding through back countries, bad lands, and definitely seeing what they are made of. So
Hmm.
I'm going to
Hmm.
cue this up right quick.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gene with an update on the Hoka Hey. Today is Saturday. It's day 7, and it's the first thing in the morning, and I'm wide awake. I've already put in 150 miles. I was on the bike at about 4 a.m., and I'm right now in Flagstaff, ready to jump on the highway and get going again. I just wanted to give everyone an update. Thank you for the support. I see the messages when I post the Relive, which is a pretty cool app that just follows my track, and it gives you the map of my route and everyone else's route, actually. So you're getting a feel for what the Hoka Hey is and what we're doing each day. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm on pace. I'm on pace. My goal is to be an elite rider, which means I have to finish in 14 days or less, which is next Sunday. So I'm on pace. Today is day 7, and I'm going to get to the second checkpoint in Wyoming by tonight, whether it's midnight or what. I'll be there. I'll probably sleep right at the dealership. A couple of neat, really good tidbits on this Hoka Hey. It's a little bit different than the 2022 one that I ran. But this one, I think the Hoka Hey is getting more widespread publicity, and people are through Facebook and Twitter and whatever it is, and social media, people know about it. So earlier, there were about 5 instances when people in smallest little towns in Alabama and Georgia that you would never think, people knew our track, and they followed us. And when we came to these small towns, there would be a family, mother, a couple of kids, and have a big sign that says Hoka Hey. I mean, we're going down a little main street in nowhere town, Georgia, and it was really, really something. That was not the case in 2022. That happened about 5 times so far, and that lifts the spirits. Let me tell you, that's really neat. The other thing that was really cool was yesterday. I was riding in the morning with a bunch of guys. It was pitch black. We left at 3 in the morning, and we came to a crossroads. It was a detour. There's some construction in Taos, New Mexico, and we all 5 of us, we pulled our bikes onto a side street, and we're looking at the maps, and we're trying to figure out which way we go, because you remember, if you miss a turn and you go 20, 30 miles off course, you have to return to the spot. So everyone is really afraid of missing any turns. You want to make sure you have it absolutely correct. This was a tricky one because there was construction, there was a detour, and the road signs are crazy and everything is pointing in different directions. You got to make sure you get it right, especially in the pitch black. So all 5 of us are there. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, an SUV pulls up. This woman gets out. We thought that she wanted to come down the street that we were blocking. She comes out and she hands us gifts. She's been holding, and she's been following the Hoka Hey on the tracker, and she saw 5 of us located, and she thought maybe we were a little bit lost. And I'm telling you, she was an angel. She just showed up out of nowhere, And if those of you who don't believe in things like this stuff happens, and out of nowhere, in the pitch black, we were off in a corner area of Taos. This woman shows up, hands us little gifts of lollipops and granola bars, or each in an individual baggie. She took pictures of our motorcycle, took pictures of our numbers on our motorcycle, and she's compiling some kind of a, scrapbook. But I turned to the other guys in the group and I said, guys, take this moment and absorb this, because this is what happens in life when angels appear out of nowhere in your life and they give you direction. What happened? We asked her where this and this direction was. She knew it exactly because she lives in the town. Oh no, she said, got to go down this street, make a right, and you're on your way. And it saved us a world of hurt had we made the wrong turn. But that's my story of the day, and it's just uplifting and really great, as well as the 5 times when we pass these little towns and people just holding up Hoka Hay signs. Really good stuff. The ride is great. It's a big challenge. It's hard, but everyone knows that going in. It ain't a beauty contest, so you got the helmet head. One shower so far in 7 days. I happened to grab a shower at a truck stop where we just randomly stopped at. You never know where you're going to stay the night. But it's okay. I'm keeping as clean as I can with my dude wipes and such during the day and a couple of times each day, and just making it happen. It's really fun. It's really good. Great people, great riders. I mean, the people that are leading out here, the 20 or 30 that are out of the pack are outstanding. The best riders in the world, I think. To do all this, to read the directions, to manage your motorcycle, manage your time, manage your sleeping. It's my hat's off to the really, really fast leaders. But I'm doing well. I'm really proud of myself. I'm on target, and the bike is holding up great. The sleeping arrangement is fantastic. I hit this bed. It's a chair, reclining chair, and in 30 seconds, I'm asleep. And that's great. All I need is 3 hours of sleep, and I'm up and rolling again. And anyway, that's my update. I hope you enjoy it. I'll keep you all posted, and keep sending me the comments. It's really uplifting. I can't write back, obviously, to everyone because it's exhausting. I get off the bike after 800-900 miles, and I just can't see. It hurts. It hurts to look. So anyway, Hoka, hey, it's all good. Keep the messages coming. I really appreciate it.
All right.
All right, folks. Once again, like I say, Gene has really been putting out some good perspectives on the ride.
Yes.
What he's dealing with, incredible. And then he takes his hat off to the front runners, folks. Now that says something about the riders and the people who participate in the Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. When you can sit there and acknowledge and give respect to people who are really up front, really pushing it, knowing what they're going through, to sit there and say, "Hey, my hat off to the front runners." And Gene really displayed that. So once again, thank everybody for tuning in for this light edition, day 14, the big day
Mm-hmm.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Solo, let me ask you a question. So the perseverance that you gain as you go through these challenges through the Hoka Hey, does that once you get back home, you decompress, does that perseverance transition into things in your normal everyday life?
oh yeah,
That ex,
oh yeah,
that
it's a
experience,
confidence. It's a confidence builder. It's
yeah.
a confidence builder in you, not only as a motorcycle rider, but as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, in life we take chances every day. You get in your car, you take a chance. You go to work, you take a chance. But to get out there, to be in the elements, to ride 10,000 miles to a back roads and come out on the other side, you're going to be banged up, bruised up. Even if you just bump your shin on your foot peg, you're going to be bruised up. A rock hits you, but it's a confidence builder. It's a
Yeah.
confidence builder in your decision making, in your thinking pattern. It pushes you to a limit to say, "Hey, I can function with minimal sleep," because a lot of riders are former military.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I say, Jane Red Cloud was former military, so we're used to that thing they call sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it pushes you to sit there and say, "I know I can survive out here on my own. I can get myself out of a predicament. your thinking. So it's definitely a confidence builder. And when you go back home with that, after you finally decompress, because believe it or not, when you get back home and when you take that shower and you finally lay down in the bed and try to go to sleep, for like the next 2 or 3 days, you're gonna instinctively wake up.
Mm.
You're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, okay, did I hear another motorcycle pass me? Okay, I got to get right. So it's still in you to finally get to decompress.
Yeah.
And so getting back home and taking what you learned from riding the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge is definitely life altering in some way. It's maybe just a small little bit, but it's definitely going to give you a confidence boost in yourself.
All right. Yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That is great.
And before we go, I have to share this from Junie. She just put this up. Junie is such an inspiration, man. Tough as nails. I mean, I think I first seen a picture. I think Junie bike was in the ditch. They pulled her bike out. She dusted herself off, got back in a bike, turned around and said, "Hey, thank you guys." Got back on the bike and kept riding. So, man, my hat's off to Junie. We're gonna cue her up right quick.
Morning, Hoka. Hey, I think we're on day 12, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But we survived the Mookie Dugway. We went ahead and went across it because we had done it last year, and we wanted to go ahead and stay with the original route. So the original route had that Mookie Dugway on there, and so we decided to go ahead and do it. And Alex and Lexi went across it too, and they thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why they don't just get it over with and pave that road, but I guess they just want us motorcyclists to have something to try our best at. So anyway, hope y'all are having a great Saturday. Hope you got lots of fun things to do. We're at a really nice Love's. I don't know if you can see that. Love's truck stop here with. They have a. Let me turn this thing around if I can figure out how to. There we go. There we go. Look at, they got a dog park here, so you can come and walk your dog if you want to. Look at the price of fuel, pretty good. But yeah, we're in Utah, so it was pretty warm yesterday. Nice truck stop though, and look at the beautiful rocks. We have seen so many cool formations and just some beautiful stuff. I wonder sometimes too if people actually bring their kids and things and go and see all this stuff that we're seeing on these motorcycles, because you don't see a whole lot of cars. So, but anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. We're plugging along, happy as a clam. So that's where we need to be, right? We love you guys. See you at the finish line.
All right, there's Junie,
Right.
folks. Junie is actually a board member, a committee member for the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge, and she rides her ride. That's one thing about Junie. She ride her ride, and
Mm-hmm.
hats off to her for that. That was a question come off about the bells. Last in 2022, Thundercat Ruby and Kinky started it. Both of them had accidents. Kinky went back and I think she got another bike and finished. I think she may have been considered a finisher, but as a group, they are as a group per se. But yeah, I think that answered your question.
And I want for all those that are interested in knowing, to let you know that Hyde is still moving. Okay. he's moving,
Oh yeah.
he's moving through Edmonton right now. So just to let y'all know that the 48 panhead is still on the ground. Okay.
Hey, that's incredible, folks. Man, I wish I could be there to see that.
Yeah, yeah,
A 48 pan. That's pretty hardcore in my book. In my book. We
yeah.
want to thank everybody for tuning in again. Yes, go hide, go definitely. definitely.
Right.
Like I say, we're gonna keep this a light edition. What's
Hmm.
that? Oh man,
I was gonna say,
this has
man,
been fun, folks. This is
Alaska, Alaska's starting to look like how Florida looked when they began.
yeah, yeah. That's a good thing, you know. And like I say,
Mhm.
the elephant in the room this year has been this area right here with the tracker system. There's no signal up there from starting at mile 80 rest stop here in British Columbia on up through White Horse in the Yukons. And then once they hit Alaska, they'll get a signal and it pops back on. So
Yeah,
that's definitely that's been hard to 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 digest right here, folks.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
that's too much blind area. And then being this late in the game, day 14, I'm sure HQ can see the riders. Maybe they got the vape trails up, but definitely this right here was heartbreaking. Um,
yeah.
not to be able to see the riders in this area right here. I know a lot of people had issues and concern. Uh, yes, Annie, a 48 pan head. That's a little extreme for me right there. For anybody, but he's doing it. He's doing it. So our hats off to him. But we're gonna zoom in. We're gonna zoom in on the big board.
I know
Uh,
somebody asked about Popoff. I know you communicate with her. Did you get any? I know I saw a video from her yesterday, um, but that was the last video. She's in good spirits and was moving forward.
right. The current time up there now is 5:32 a.m. That's
Yeah.
Juneau, Alaska time. So folks up there are either still sleeping or maybe onesies and twosies are standing by for riders to come in. Hopefully, before we can sign off the air, we may be able to catch a rider coming in live. We want to thank the committee and everybody for putting on an outstanding event this year. That's Fairbanks. I'm going to zoom in off of Fairbanks because we know Fairbanks is people lining up to go up to either Prudhoe Bay or to ride the Dalton Highway. So hopefully, folks, this group right here, they may already be in. 1177, 1036, they may already be in.
Right, right. They're sitting, yeah, they're sitting on the side
See,
there.
we had a report about 220 plus riders started this year. That's a pretty big number of riders.
Mhm.
Once again, the Hoka Hay accepts 100 new riders a year. Once again, that may change because every year it evolves. Every year they reassess what they will allow on the course.
You know, I saw something yesterday. We didn't address. I think I don't know who the person was. If you're on, I'm gonna try to bring your question back up. But the question was, do you ever think that they're gonna allow sport bikes on the Hoka Hay?
No, no,
That
that's not.
that's what the question was. So I was gonna let you
Yeah,
you or Hops answer that question.
I think that's going to be one of the staples, almost like the Constitution of the Hoka Hay. You know,
Mhm.
that's kind of in stone, and the reason being is it's the fairness of it to all riders. The Hoka Hay Motorcycle Challenge is not a race.
It's not a race.
Rebecca put a post out, and again, shout out my hat off to Rebecca. You did an outstanding job in the sites that you were posting updates on. Thank you for that because I used some of your material, some of the stuff that you posted. So Rebecca, my hat off to you. Thank you very much. But I think with the fairness of that being a V twin, motorcycle. Uh, it brings an element of fairness to it to all of the riders, and it keeping with that tradition of what James Red Cloud thought of running across America, the American pony, as a warrior sitting on a pony, running across the plains of like South Dakota or Wyoming or Oklahoma, Utah, Nevada, and all of that. So I think they're going to stick with that. The IBR, on the other hand, allows whatever you bring to the table. I rode in the IBR, and uh, once I saw the lineup, I said, "There's no way in the world I can ride up against a GSXR 1300 Hayabusa. There's just no way. This little V twin is gonna keep up with a GSXR 1300 Hayabusa." And sure enough, but hey, that's if that's what you ride, that's what you ride. But for this challenge right here, I think it brings an element of fairness to it. The Hoka is not a race, but it does keep everybody in that same perspective. As one, as far as speed; two, as far as your gas mileage, what you can hold in the tank; and three, it gives that same look for the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Well, Victor Rise said she ain't gonna make it to 26, but she'll try to make the 28 if it's in God's will. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Terry
so
Smith,
you mean to
many
tell me
sport
that
bikes and
I probably
wings
wouldn't do this,
ride.
but I could ride my V ride in the Hoka?
Your V it's American made V10, correct?
Not that I would. I'm just saying.
If you could pack it, if you could bring enough stuff to survive, I'm sure you
Oh,
can.
oh, I can pack.
Folks,
I'll learn how to pack that sucker.
yeah, I'll strap bags all over that joker. But then too, you have to look at the comfort level of that thing.
Exactly.
That's why my
Exactly.
hat is off to, um, you know, uh, that panhead man. He is really gritting it out on that thing. That's Terry Smith. Many of these riders ride sport bikes and wings and ride a so-called American made for the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. Yes, and some of these riders own two or three motorcycles. It's just that's what the prerequisite is to ride the Hoka. Um, and I like it. I like it. It brings an element of fairness to it when I line up next to a guy, and then to um, everybody is enduring somewhat on a similar level. A bagger, but we know the panhead, we know and then too with this new Pan America that's out now, that thing, I think they finally worked the kinks out, so that the change issues, a couple of other issues that it had when I think 2020, yeah, 2020, 2022, I think riders were having some issues with them.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Once again, as you can see, the track updating. Okay, snacks. Yes, snacks.
Pan American. You got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hat to
Snacks
snack.
out the back bag. Yeah, snacks got a bagger too now. Don't get it twisted now.
Oh yeah,
She'll pull
yeah.
that bagger out on you in a heartbeat. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Folks, I have enjoyed bringing this to you,
Yes.
coverage of the 2024 Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. Thank you, Logic, for hanging in there with me.
Thank you
Man,
for inviting me.
it's been a pleasure working with you. Hop, shout out to you. Hop was riding last night. He said he had to lay it down to get him some rest. So my hat off to
Oh wow.
Hops. Everybody who came on. Big Mike's been riding. He's been up in Maine. He was up at the Four Corners in Maine. Sarge, Retro, Tone, uh, Joe and Bev, everybody, Buffy who came on. Everybody who came on, I thank you for supporting me in this. This is like a first for us to have actual live coverage, and then twice a day. So, folks, this has
Mhm.
really been something new for me. I've enjoyed it. Who knows what the future holds as far as me sitting behind a desk, but I know where I feel most comfortable behind the handlebars. Oh man!
Uh,
Morning, Christy. Thank you for joining us.
we want to give a shout out to Tone from he was on yesterday, last night, but he's jumped on his scooter and he's heading north now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
And folks, we know. I look at the analytic of my site, and I know on the back scene that this live have reached a lot of people
Yes,
that have
yes,
never heard of the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. That sitting there now are Googling the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. What do I need to do? How can I sign up for this? So I know that this broadcast have reached a lot of people. I hope it brings positive energy to the Hoka Challenge and community. There was nothing ever foul meant about it. It was always something positive, and that's how I like to keep it. Let's keep it
yeah.
positive.
Keep it positive. Keep it logical, man. I'm sorry. I slipped right into that, man. I don't know.
I fed you in on that one. Oh man, I had to get one out of you somehow. Uh, Definitely want to keep our prayers and our thoughts and prayers in mind
Yes.
for Dr. Cat and Dave Yule. Our thoughts and prayers are with you out there. If you happen to catch this live, or if you happen to see a rebroadcast of it, you are our family. We miss you. We love you, folks. It's the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge is it comes with risks. It comes with. Please know that up front. Um, do not take it lightly. Do not think of it as you hopping on I-10, I-20, 95
Right.
and
Right.
blasting with the most speed that your bike can go. It is not that type of ride. Go on your back roads, ride around your state. Say, you know what? I'm gonna go look at what Retro's doing. I'm gonna go do what the IBA is doing. I'm gonna go look and at my
Mhm.
own backyard, and I'm gonna
Right.
take and say, hey, I'm gonna start here. Virginia,
Mhm.
for example, you can get on 58 in Virginia and ride around Virginia and see some of the most beautiful country from the mountains to the sea and all in between, and say, I'm gonna ride this in 24 hours. That would give you a day one perspective of
Mm.
riding the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge. Now, is you have to figure now, it's turn by turn with no GPS directions.
Right.
It's no turn by turn, and there's a lot in between from point A to point B. So, um,
I told you. I went on a little AI thing and asked it to give me a turn by turn 200 miles out from my house and back in a Hoka Hay style, and I just followed it on the map. I got
mhm.
lost in the first 20 miles. I was like, what? And I'm just following the map. I'm not actually out there riding it.
Yeah. So, yes, Christy, and it's just one of those things, I'm sure with everything, there's a risk assessment. Big John Levin is the risk assessment manager for the Hoka Hay. And I know
Mhm.
he take all of that into consideration of the experience of new riders, um, where they're starting out of, the toughness of the route, and sit there and say, hey, um, he go down the line and look at all his risks, the mitigating factors, and say, "Hey, look, I think this would probably be a good number. This is my recommendation: 100 riders, plus whatever returning Hoka Hay riders." Now, you got to realize once you complete the Hoka Hay Motorcycle Challenge, you do not
Mhm.
have to go back through the interview process. You do not have to try to go and meet the qualification to ride in it. You can arrive at the starting line the day prior and said, "Hey, here's my entry fee, here's my insurance, here's my registration, here's all my information. I'm packed. I'm ready to go." You can do that. as a returning rider, a successful returning rider. So
Mhm.
all of that is taken into consideration. Like I say, for 220 plus riders to take off uh, from Daytona, and we showed footage of them actually on Route One, the A1A, coming off, and it's just like the Tour de France. It's congested. There's risks involved, but luckily, this has been a clean race so far. People got some bumps and bruises. Some people may have had some accidents, but they can lick their wounds and live the tell to tell another day. So that's a positive thing. So I think the assessment was right. I think the number was right. And if we
Mhm.
try to go into those 250s and 300s, I think they may be really pushing it
Yeah.
because you have to realize we still got people down here in the lower 48s. I'm going to pull up the big map, the big board, as I say. Go to the big board. These riders here are still in the lower 48.
Mhm.
And as long as they still have forward momentum, and I'm sure HQ is reaching out to them, saying, "Hey, rider, how do you feel? Do you feel as though you can continue? Are you getting enough rest? Check in with us." As long as the riders have forward momentum, they continue on the route. They're still in it. They're still in it. So
That's an interesting question. You see what Christy asked?
for the rookies who don't finish this ride, will they have to reapply for 2026? Uh, I don't think they have to reapply per se, submitting a rider resume and all that because they have been assigned a number. It's just that now they have to come in, pay their entry fee, and then if they had no accidents or whatever the situation was, even with mechanical mistakes or whatever happened, the committee will assess that, and then they will either give them a green light or say not this year. But typically, I think the rider would be allowed to participate. Rookies who don't finish, Christy. Uh, Beatty, Amanda, I can't say. Hopefully, uh,
Is he up there? They up there in that zone?
I think he's in that zone because I tried to punch him up.
Yeah.
They're right there, 10 and 27. And like I say, folks, right here is where that no signal coverage area is. That's mile 80 rest stop. That's mile 80 rest stop. So,
Mhm.
you know, I do not have eyes on him. I'm sure HQ is looking at his vapor trail. You can see where he's at. Uh, for all I know, he may just pop up on the map and be in Alaska. Yes, Reno, thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate you.
Yeah, K Drifter. I believe you do keep your same number.
Yes, you do. Once you are assigned that number, that is your number.
Mhm.
Well, folks, we've enjoyed this light edition. Uh, Like I say, we're going to try to go live one more time. One more time.
What is
This
before you go, this question was asked twice. They want to know what is the interview process like?
um,
I know it's been a while since you've been in it.
and, that's why I can only speak from my
Right.
interview. And yes, I went through the interview process. I submitted my writer resume. Uh, I received the phone call. First, I see the email, then I received the phone call, and you sit down and you know you receive a series of questions. Uh, why you want to ride it, and so on and so on and so on. So the questions vary based off of your resume. Um, They do verify your resume. So if you send it in saying that you rode to the moon and back, um, so they do verify that. My hat off to them. But it is definitely, you sit down and Junie or whoever conducting your interview will ask you a series based off your rider skills and ability. What do you plan to ride? What type of motorcycle do you plan to ride? Because trust me, from the panhead to a scout to full baggers, they know, they sit there and they'll give you some recommendations um, on that because they've seen it all. And Junie does an outstanding job of interviewing the riders. So yeah,
That's
and
good.
folks, if it's something that you're interested in, something that you are considering, do your homework. Like I say, the Small Mountain Taco, located in Medicine Park, Oklahoma, is like an annual gathering of Hoka Hay riders. It's like an annual gathering of riders. And good morning, Billy. Billy, sir, thank you for joining us this morning. Billy, the champ, man. Uh,
All right.
I,
Morning,
I,
Billy.
I, 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 I can't stress, man. I always fall back to that same old story, how we got lost together and almost ran out of gas because as a rookie I made a stupid mistake. Like, oh, that should be a gas station up ahead. But I did learn something. I learned something about myself from that. It humbled me, And then when I found out that Billy was a former champion, well, you're always a champion. You are former first finisher, but a champion. He's always a champion. But it humbled me, So I always look at that, man. Um, yeah. So hopefully I answered your question about Beatty. I'm sorry I'm all over the place this morning. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Did you head out to? No, actually, that was a old picture. And a lot of times when I do rides like that, I will not post right away because I typically post a few days behind my rides. And that was just a moment that one of my old memories popped up, and I wanted to share. And I share my rides with people because I want my motto is aspire to inspire. That's what I've always said, that I want to inspire uh, other people to get out and go to places because some people may have never heard of it and I'll I'll hear about it or I'll see it on the map or I want to go ride up there. And I come back and I try to share that with other riders. I give my perspective on it. Um, I do a lot of back road riding now because,
Mhm.
I've pretty much ridden on all of the major interstates. So now I find myself on the back roads. So that's where that come from. Um,
I'm waiting for the book. I said this to you a long time ago. I'm waiting for the book of pictures,
hey,
and I also say that to Pop Off. I'm waiting for the book of pictures.
where's that mute button at? I'm trying to find that mute button.
Yeah. There was
Magic, you killing
there was one location. I think it was in, I don't know. Pop Off was in some country wherever. I think she was over here, and in Canada. I don't know where she was, but it was a black sand beach, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it was simply beautiful." And I'm like, "See, between her and Solo, I ain't gonna have no money trying to get to these destinations."
Oh yeah. All right, Billy. Y'all take care. Enjoy that fish. All right, folks. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's scan down to the lower 48.
Righty.
Um, once again, Small Mountain Taco Run in April. The Reef and K Solo Ride to Eat. The Rendezvous. Once you get in the community, meet some people. You'll hear about the rendezvous where riders get together. You can come, ask questions, meet some of the riders that you've heard, put a face with the name, and ask questions, and just feel the energy from the riders.
Hmm. Hmm.
Once again, keep all these riders down here in the lower 48 in your thoughts and prayers. As long as they moving forward, they are still considered on the ride. So, with that being said, Logic.
Yes, sir. Hey, we love you. We thank you for joining. Ride. I know you do. Ride hard, ride safe, and always, always ride on faith and keep it logical.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, folks. This is K Solo, and we getting ready to sign off from the morning edition of coverage, live coverage of the 2024 Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. We thank you for tuning in. All right, folks.
Peace.
Peace.